Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the class Human Capital Management. Dear students, so far we have discussed the nature and objectives of human resource management. Today, we are going to learn about the functions of human resource management or human capital management. Yes, the main functions of human capital management are classified under two heads: managerial functions and operative functions. Let's understand the managerial functions of human capital management: planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. So, these are the main functions under managerial functions. Let's understand these managerial functions one by one. Planning. The planning functions of human resource management pertains to the steps taken in determining in advance the personal requirement. The main activity of human resource department is to predict, is to determine how much, how many personnel, how many people, human resource required. It has to be expected from each and every department. The data has to be collected. The requirement of the people in each and every department. So therefore, personnel programs and policies have to be made after determining how many and what type of people are required in each and every department. A personnel manager has to devise the ways and means how to motivate the people, how to go about recruitment. So, therefore, it is the first activity of human resource manager, human resource department is to expect, is to determine the requirement of the personnel from all the departments. Organizing. HR manager has to organize the operative functions by designing the structure of relationship among the jobs, personal and physical factors in such a way so as to have the maximum contribution towards the organizational objectives. In this way, a personnel manager performs number of organizing functions, preparing the task force, allocation of work to each and every individuals in the organization, integration of the efforts of the task force, coordination has to be established between the personnels, among the personnels, if they work with that, the personal manager has to take care of these, organizing the people, establishing coordination among the people who are working in each and every department. Take the example, there is a there must be a coordination between production manager and with that of finance manager. Do you know how the relationship has been existed in the organization? Production process has to be taken place continuously. There is a requirement of resource for the production department. So therefore the production manager has to give complete information how the production is taking place, what is the inventory level. All those things must be submitted to the finance manager, because finance manager has to arrange the finance or the financial resource that should be supplied to the production department. Directing. Directing is concerned with initiation of the organization, initiation of organized actions, and stimulating the people to work towards the fulfillment of the organizational goals. So therefore the personal manager effective direct directs the activities of the people who are associated with the organization, because it is the duty of the personal manager to get the work done by the people. So therefore he has to guide and motivate the staff and follow the path that has laid down in advance among the people. What is the way in which he has to get the work from the employees, that has to be laid down before them in advance. So that is an important function of the personal manager or HR department. Lastly, the controlling. It provides the basic data for establishing standards, makes job analysis and performance appraisal of each and every employee. That is an important program. So all these techniques which assist the personal manager whether the employees are working as per the standard, whether the employees are undertaking their activities according to the directions, according to the plan. So therefore he has to make standards and job analysis, and performance has to be assessed. So all these techniques which assist the personal department in order to take the work effectively, therefore effective control of the quality, time and the efforts of the workers. So these are the important managerial functions of the personal department. So now let's understand another category of the functions, that is operative functions. Operative functions, procurement of personnel. It's concerned with obtaining the proper kind of people and number of persons necessary to accomplish organizational objectives. It deals specifically with such subjects as manpower requirement, recruitment, selection, placement, and orientation. All these programs which are related to the operations. Therefore, the first important operative functions of the human resource management is to procure the personnel, procurement of the person. That is an important program. Development of personnel. So after having the personnel or the people, development has to do with the increase through training. Skill has to be inculcated among them as and when time comes, because the proper and necessary work that the HR manager has to get from all the employees. Therefore, development of the HR, development of the human resource, which is already we accomplished with the organization. Take the example when the technology has been adapted, the new technology has been adapted in the organization. In order to accomplish such advanced technology, training is required. The current skill is not enough to undertake the work properly. So, therefore, development of the human resource is also the important task in order to get the work, in order to get the operation. So, that can be done through skills, inculcating the skills and knowledge. So, that is necessary to get the proper work from the employees. In this process, various techniques have been evolved. What type of training has to be given, how the training has to be given. So whether the training is given with the experts who are already we have. So therefore, it is the duty of the HR manager to get the operations effectively and efficiently from all the employees to develop the human resource. Compensation of the personnel. As you know, the compensation means determination of adequate and equitable remuneration of personnel for their contribution to organizational objectives. A number of decisions are taken into the functions, like job evaluation. On the basis of the job evaluation, how much remuneration has to be given to each and every employees, and later on the policy has to be made with regard to the compensation, incentives and premium plans, bonus policies, co-partnership, etc. It also assists the organization for adapting the suitable wages and salaries, policies and payments towards the wages and salaries at the right time. It is the major motivational factors for the personnel to get the work from them effective and efficient manner. Maintaining good industrial relation. It's another important operative functions. It is intended to reduce the strikes, lockouts, in order to promote industrial peace, provide fair deal with the workers, and establish the industrial democracy. As you all know that, so nowadays most of the organizations are giving the chance for the employees to work towards the decision making activities. As I told you, I mean that employees are allowed to take the decisions. So management nowadays, they are taking the help from the employees. When any employee is giving good suggestions how to go about the operations, so he will be rewarded. So therefore, employee participation in decision making process is also a very important task in order to get the work efficient and effective. So therefore, the employees are encouraged. So they will be having the faith and honesty among the employees will be increased. Record keeping. In record keeping, the personnel manager collects and maintains the information concerned with the staff of the organization. It is essential for every organization because that assists the management in taking the decisions like promotion, demotion, all those aspects, all those operations can be done with the help of the record of the employees and their performances and their qualifications and how much attachment do they have towards the organization objectives, all those things. So depends on record keeping. Personal planning and evaluation. Under this system, different type of activities are evaluated, such as evaluation of the employee's performance, personal policies of the organization and its practices, personal audit, morale among the employees, survey, and performance appraisal. All these programs which helps the organizational person, organizational managers in order to take the right decisions. So these are the operative functions of the personal department. Now let's discuss another important topic, the role of HR manager in the organization. So now let's understand in detail all these factors which helps to understand the role of HR manager. Conscience role, the counselor role, the mediator, the spokesman, the problem solver, the change agent. So these are the important factors which help us to understand what is the role of the HR manager in the organization. Let's understand one by one. The conscience role. It is a role that humanitarian role who reminds the management and its morals and obligation to its employees. That is called conscience. That means, so you have to establish, you have to get the work done by the people. Moral among the employees is very, very important. That means treating the human resource, how we treat the human resources in order to make them to understand their responsibilities. There are many aspects which helps the personal manager to go about it. So we have to treat, HR manager has to treat the human resource on humanitarian basis. So therefore he reminds the management and its moral how, so they have to make the policies towards the employees, and therefore employees they will understand their obligations towards the organization. Both management and employees, they have, both of them they have some responsibilities and obligations towards the fulfillment of organization goals. Therefore it is a duty, it is a role of the HR manager. He has to work in this regard, establishing the coordination between the workers and management. So that shows the role of the HR manager in the organizational setup. The counselor. Employees who are dissatisfied with the present job approach. There are many reasons why the employees are dissatisfied. Dissatisfaction towards the remuneration, dissatisfaction towards the present working environment. So all these things have to be addressed properly. So therefore, HR manager works as a counselor, counseling the people, counseling the employees, one who is facing many problems, challenges, dissatisfaction. So very important task of the HR manager is to satisfy the customers, because he himself cannot do anything. Management itself cannot do anything. So the workers, the employees, they have to contribute for the development of the organization. If they are dissatisfied, so that affects negatively towards the production, towards the performance, etc. In this juncture, at this juncture, in this direction, employees facing various problems. It may be marital problems, health problems, children education and family problem, physical and career of the employees. So all those things have to be addressed properly. He has to listen to the employees. So he must be a doctor. He has to diagnose the people because he has to understand whether by seeing the people itself, HR manager has to understand why this person is not performing well. He has to call that particular person and understand, and then counseling has to be conducted and get to know what are the problems he is facing. If possible, find solutions, or else that will be informed to the management how best the management and the HR manager has to redress all those problems of the employees. Therefore, HR manager has to work as a counselor and consult the employees and offer the suggestions and solve the problems in order to overcome their problems. Problems might be personal or organizational problems. The mediator. As a mediator between employees and the management, HR manager plays the role of peacemaker because he is having the duty. It is his duty to settle the disputes which arises between the management and employees. Because he is a human doctor, he acts as a liaison and communication link between employees and management. Unless we get the coordination and cooperation between the employees and management, it's big problem ahead. So therefore, he works as a mediator. So that shows the role of the HR manager in the organization in order to establish peace, industrial peace. The spokesman. He's a frequent spokesman for or representative of the company. So even he has to represent the company when he goes out for recruitment and all other things. And problem solver. He acts as a problem solver with respect to the issues that involve among the human resource management and overall long range organizational planning has to be implemented because he is the person who gets the work from the people. Change agent. He acts as a change agent and introduces the changes which are made by the management in various existing programs. Because he is the person who introduces if any changes brought by the management towards the employees. So he has to implement those changes in various existing programs. So therefore, he is a change agent. So these are the important factors which reminds us what is the role that played by the HR manager in the organization. So these are the supporting material that has been given. Kindly go through this for further studies. HR role, welfare role, clerical role, firefighting and legal role. So all these materials you can go through for further study. Role and responsibilities of HR manager and role of HR specialist. On the basis of the discussions what we have made, the role of HR manager, we just go through the other materials regarding the role of HR specialist. So now let's focus on current trends in human resource management. Personal directors are the new corporate heroes. So we talk about human resource manager, human resource expert, how the HR department is going to manage the personnel who are associated with the organization. So these current trends could be understood with the help of many factors. Number one, workforce diversity. The dimensions of the workforce diversity are not limited to age, ethnicity, ancestry, gender, physical abilities and qualities, race, sexual orientation, educational background, geographic location, income, marital status. So we have all those diversities among the people with the mixture of talents of diverse workforce, cultural backgrounds, genders, ages, lifestyles. An organization can respond to business opportunities more rapidly and creatively, especially in the global arena. As we know that the workforce diversity is a unique factor that has to be addressed properly, that has to be understood properly, because how we treat the other resources in the organization, we cannot treat the human resources in the same way. Human resources is diverse. Human resources in which we have many diversities. So therefore, Cox suggests that HR manager needs to change from ethnocentric view, that is, our way is the best way towards the employees. No, it's wrong. It is an ethnocentric approach. He has to change his approach to a culturally relative perspective. Let's take the best of a varieties of ways. So we have so many varieties how we could able to treat the employees, because so we are getting the work done by the people. So therefore, so we need to understand the different ways and techniques how best we can manage the human resource in the organizations. Among all the varieties of ways and techniques and methods, which method has to be used? Which method suits for our work environment? Because workforce diversity is one of the big challenge before the HR manager while managing the human resource. Talent management. It refers to the process of developing and integrating new workers, developing and keeping the current workers and attract highly skilled workers to work for your company. Talent management is the process that emerged in the 1990s and continues to be adapted as more companies come to realize that their employees and talent and skills drive their business success. So therefore, manage employees' talent, manage employee skills is an important task. So that is the current trend, attracting and recruiting qualified candidates with competitive background, managing and defining the competitive salaries, training and development opportunities has to be implemented, performance management processes, retention programs. So that's very important activity, because nowadays most of the organizations are conducting the exit interview. Why the people are going out? Promotion and transitioning. Talent management is also known as HCM, human resource management, human resource information system, and HR modules. The term talent management means different things to different peoples. That means we cannot have a single method, single way of treating the people for all the people in the organization. No, it's wrong. So, from different angles, from different ways, we have to manage the people. Organizing talent and strategically. Organizing talent strategically. Many companies are now realizing the advantage of diverse workforce going global. In the market expansion, either physically or virtually, for example, e-commerce related companies, there is a necessity to employ diverse talents to understand the various niches of the market. For example, when China was opening up its market and exporting their products globally in the late 1980s, the Chinese companies were seeking the marketing expertise from Singaporeans. So this is because Singapore people, Singaporeans, marketing talents are able to understand the local Chinese market relatively well, and as well as due to Singaporeans' open economic policies and English language abilities among the Singaporeans, which helps the Chinese to the adapt the policies to go global, control and measure results. HR manager must conduct the regular organizational assessment on issues like pay, benefit, work environment, management, and promotional opportunities to assess the progress over the long term. So there is also a need to develop appropriate measuring tools to measure the employees. Motivational approaches. The motivational approaches towards the employees is entirely changed. This is result our individual needs being satisfied. The needs of the individuals in the organizations are different, so that we are motivated to complete organizational tasks effectively and efficiently among the working force. Executive information system. It is the most common term used for the unified collections of the computer hardware and software that track the essential data of the business, daily performance of the employees, and present it to the before the business before the management has to get the aid to their planning and decision making without these are having the coordination. So therefore, the current trends in order to manage the human resource is entirely different because of the use of computer hardware, software. Okay, managing EIS. As information is the basis of decision making in an organization, there lies a great need for effective managerial control. A good control system would ensure that the communication of the right information at the right time and relayed to the right people to the organization and take the prompt actions in these directions. So therefore, these are the current trends in managing the human resource in the organization. So let's conclude with few words. We live in the era of not just change, but an accelerating change which is happening as compared to the past. 21st century corporations are getting to be globally market driven ones with the invest anyway and share everywhere concepts. So therefore, with this advanced era, the role of human resource management is very important. You must be a change agent, as I told you, as we have discussed under the role. because the new trends which are appearing in the management of the HR. So therefore, so these are the factors which tells us the current trends of the managing the human resource in the organization setup. Development of human resource management in India. Like UK and USA, the evolution and development of human resource management in India was not voluntary. After the Second World War, difficult conditions erupted in our country. Malpractices in the recruitment of the workers and payment of the wages led to the trade union movement in 1931. On the recommendations of the Royal Commission of Labour, jobber system has been completely abolished in the recruitment process. After independence, the Factory Act has been evolved in 1948, laid down certain provisions for labour officers, labour welfare officers, safety and regulation of working hours and working conditions. Two professional bodies have been emerged after the independence. Number one is the Indian Institute of Personnel Management, Kolkata. So now it is Kolkata. And the National Institute of Labour Management, headquartered at Bombay. So these two institutions are guiding human resource management and labour management. The massive trust on basic industries in our country during the 5-year plans, especially during second 5-year plans, the great importance, great stress has been laid down for the establishment of the basic industries, sugar, cement, iron and steel, which accelerated the public sector undertakings, gave trust to personal management and HRD practices. The professionalism in managing organizations become quite visible by 1970s. So there was a clear shift from the welfare approach to efficiency approach. That is a development took place continuously. The two professional bodies merged in 1980 to form National Institute of Personnel Management with Kolkata as headquarters. The changing internal environment in the organization calls for the better understanding of the human resource. So therefore, the managing the human resource is in different angle is made easy. The culture or climate of the organization is made up for traditions, values and habits, way of organizing the people and interpersonal relationship at workplace. Okay, all these uh, changes which are happening day by day. The work culture is reflected in the organizational structure, strategy, systems, power and reward distribution, conformity development process, motivational dynamics, organizational clarity, warmth and support received by the employees, leadership styles, standard of performance, and shared subordinate values. An effective work culture is flexible, integrated, and decentralized, performance oriented, quality conscious, cooperative, collaborative, and supportive. So, therefore, the major elements of human resource management strategy has been enormously changed, and functions can be related to the organizational culture, corporate mission, philosophy, and strategic plan to give birth to culture in the organization. So these are the developments that took place in our country in human resource management. So now let's move on to the understanding the relevance of human resource management. whether the human resource management is necessary. What is the relevance of human resource management in the organization setup? It is relevant in the modern changing scenario on the following grounds. Change management. The popular terms of the present day world are learning organization, managing organizational change, change agents, and the like. It's now accepted that any organization can survive in today's socio-economic environment only if it is proactive to the environmental changes. Tremendous environmental changes which are happening in the human resource management. So all those changes which have to be inculcated in our working setup. Advances in information technology too are forcing the organization to change their way of thinking, way of looking the people, way of managing the people. So therefore, the change management, so that is one of the modern changes which are happening in the managing the workforce. Competence in any organization, it may not be feasible to allocate the task to individuals at which each one excels, but it's possible to enhance the competence among the workforce individuals to specific tasks through well designed training programs. So, as you know very well, so now the present scenario in our country, so from the different background, the people are coming to the IT industry. So after they trained, once we give the proper training for them, so they'll be good at work. So therefore, HRD attempts to enhance the competence among the workforce. Continuous training and development has to be conducted. Well designed, well designed plan and strategy has to be evolved in order to conduct the training and training programs among the workers. That is the planning, that is the important plan. So human resource management is helping the managers to plan training programs in advance. Commitment. The extent to which the employees are committed to their work and organization has the significant bearing on an organizational performance. Organizational performance and the work culture and the commitment of the workforce. So that is the relevance of the human resource management. That is the work of the human resource management. Human resource management establishes the commitment among the workforce. So that shows the presence or relevance of the human resource department, human resource management in the organization. Commitment level can be assessed by using informal interviews and questionnaires, statistics on absenteeism, grievance redressal councils, and voluntary separations. As you know that commitment level is very important. So therefore, human resource management will establish commitment once the employees are committed towards the work, towards the organization, towards the management. As you have seen, some people who proudly say, I'm working at Infosys, I'm working in TCS. That's a commitment. The congruence of objectives. It is essential that all newcomers to the organizations are properly socialized into the existing community. So therefore, because there must be coordination must be established and are made aware of the organizational values, work ethos, customs, and traditions. So this is commonly referred to as socialization. So that work, the socializing the new employees with the work culture, with the work customs, with the work ethos. So that is the task of the human resource management. There, sorry, there. So we come to know the role of human resource management and relevance of human resource management. Motivation. The performance of the workers could be motivated and increase proper motivation. It's however necessary to create the environment in which all members can contribute to the limits of their ability. Subordinates must be encouraged to participate in their process of decision making, continuously broadening their self direction and self control among the employees, among the management. So, therefore, it's a motivational factors. In order to motivate the employees, there is a relevance of human resource management. So, let's understand in detail about the scope of human resource management. The scope of HRM is indeed vast. All major activities in the working life of the worker, from the time of his or her entry into the organization until he or she leaves the organization, comes under the review of human resource management. The scope of the human resource management extends to all the decisions, strategies, factors, principles, operations, practices, functions, activities, methods related to the management of the human resource in any type of organization. So there is a requirement of the human resource management. All the dimensions related to the people in their employment relationship and all the dynamics that flow from it. American Society for Training and Development conducted fairly an exhaustive study in this field and identified 9 broad areas. So that the important areas are activities of the human resource management. So with this chart we can able to understand the scope of human resource management, the union labor relations, compensation and benefits, employee assistance, organizational development, training and development, selection and staffing, design of the organization and job, human resource planning, personal research and information system. So all these 9 broad areas of activities of human resource management which are identified by ASTD. So let's discuss one by one. HRP. The objective of human resource planning is to ensure that the organization has the right type of personnel at the right time, at the right place. It prepares the human resources inventory with the view to assess the present and future needs, availability and possible shortages in human resources. There should not be any excess human resources. There should not be any shortage of human resources. So therefore, HRP forecasts the demand for labor, demand for workforce, and supplies and identify the sources of selection. HR planning, which helps the strategies, both long-term strategies and short-term strategies, to meet the manpower requirement towards the organization. Second, design of organizational job. This is the task of laying down the organization structure. authority, relationship, and responsibilities. This will also mean definition of work contents for each positions in organization. This is done by job descriptions. Another important steps, job specification. Job specification which identifies the attributes of the personnel who will be more suitable for each job, which is defined as job description. So third one, selection and training. In this process, recruitment and selection of staffs. This involves matching the people and their expectations with which the job specification and career path available within the organization. Training and development. This involves an organized effort attempt to find out training needs for individuals in order to meet the knowledge and skill which is needed not only to perform the current job but also to fulfill the future needs of the organization. In this direction, it is the duty of the organization to give training and development programs and evolve the training and development programs. Organizational development. This is important aspect whereby synergic effort is generated in an organization, that is healthy interpersonal relationship among the employees, intergroup relationship within the organization. That is the development of the HR. Compensation and benefits. This is the area of wages and salaries administration, where the wages and compensations are fixed scientifically to meet the fairness and equity criteria. In addition, the labor welfare measures are evolved which involve benefits and services. Compensation and benefits is very important task, and that shows the scope of the human resource management. That is the work done by the HRD. Employee assistance. Each employee is unique in character, personality, and expectations and temperament. By and large, each one of them faces so many problems every day in the working environment. Some are personal problems, some are official problems. In their case, he or she remains worried. Such worries must be removed to make him or her more comfortable and productive and happy while conducting operations in the organization. So, therefore, that shows the scope of the human resource management, how human resource management is to satisfy the employees. Union labor relations, healthy industrial relations, labor relations are a very important task which enhance the peace, industrial peace and productivity in the organization. This is one of the important area of human resource management. Personal research and information system. Knowledge on behavioral science and industrial psychology throws better insights into the workforce and workforce expectations, aspirations and behavior. Advancement of technology, of product and production methods have created working environment which are much different from the past. Globalization of the economy has increased competition in manifold. Science of ergonomics gives better ideas for doing a work more conveniently by the employees. That means how difficulty the employee is facing. What are the different activities the employees are undertaking? That's not important. How the employees are working in different ways. How the work has to be conducted differently, different way. Thus, continuous research in HR area is an unavoidable requirement. It's must. It must also take special care for improving exchange of information through effective communication system on a continuous basis, especially on moral and motivation. HRM is a broad concept. Personal management and human resource development are the parts of HRM. Thank you, dear friends, for being with us. Thank you. See you once again with the next concept under human capital management. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.